Investing 60 minutes each weekday for planning for the future. The WBBM Noon Business Hour continues.
There's a major rise in demand for man-made diamonds. Let's discuss the trend with Paul Zimnisky, independent diamond industry analyst in New York. Find him online, paulzimnisky.com. Paul, thank you for joining us today. And before we begin, when did the trend of lab-grown diamonds begin, and what is its current market segment in the overall diamond market?
Yeah, so the technology to produce them has existed since the 1950s, but primarily the production was targeted towards industrial application for, say, cutting tools, construction equipment, that sort of thing. And it really hasn't been, it was maybe, within the last 5 or 10 years that you really started to see the man-made diamond product emerge as a jewelry product that's, I would say, available on a more mainstream level. So it's still relatively new in the jewelry category. To give you some context, in 2015, it was, under 1% of the total global diamond jewelry market. Today, it's approaching 20%.
The thing that made diamonds, real diamonds, a valuable commodity, of course, is the fact that they had to be mined, and there was only X amount of naturally occurring diamonds on the face of the planet. Where does the value of lab-grown diamonds come from?
Well, it's a relatively, complex product to make them. We're talking about, subatomic particles, but it is a manufactured product. And as the technology progresses and as, production is ramped up and economies of scale are realized, the price has been declining on a pretty steady basis. And, as you know, natural diamonds are a non-renewable natural resource. So there's a completely different price fundamental basis to them. And because of that, you can now buy man-made diamonds that are, 90 as much as 95% less than an equivalent quality natural diamond.
We're talking lab-grown diamonds with Paul Zimnisky, independent diamond industry analyst in New York. Thank you once again for joining us this afternoon. And when we talk about diamonds that are naturally occurring, that are valuable and get more valuable over time, chances are most people, though, when they buy jewelry, they just want something that pops and sparkles and shimmers, whether you are getting down on one knee and getting engaged or whether you're giving one as a gift. And I'm guessing that's where the lab-grown diamond does a very brisk business. They don't care about the value. They just want something that looks really pretty at an affordable price point.
Right. I think that's, that makes it a viable option for some consumers, certainly. I think in general, we're talking about luxury. We're talking about diamond jewelry. It's a very emotional purchase. It's not a practical purchase. People buy it because it makes them feel good. And, since the beginning of time, humans have valued, rare and valuable precious gemstones and precious metals. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So it's just, I look at it as a different product category. It's a different option for consumers that are looking at diamond jewelry.
And then lastly, Paul, if you are purchasing diamond jewelry as a gift this holiday season, or you are thinking about popping the question this holiday season and you're in the market for an engagement ring right now, what is the jewelry store owner, is the person you're dealing with, are they obligated to tell you if it is a real diamond or a lab-grown diamond, or should you ask?
Yeah, you definitely want to ask. You want to do some research. There's actually some, quite a bit of good information available online. But you definitely want to go through a jeweler that you trust, that has a good reputation. And you want to be smart about the purchase.
And then very quickly, are there unscrupulous jewelers who charge you the real diamond amount for a lab-grown diamond piece?
There's some instances of that. It probably doesn't occur as much as you might think. But again, you want to take this seriously. The gemological labs, the GIA, is the biggest in the world. It's based in the U.S. They exist for a reason. They do a good job. And I think you want to again, do your research and be smart about what you're buying.
Paul Zimnisky, independent diamond industry analyst in New York. Find him online, paulzimnisky.com. Thank you for joining us today. Coming up next, expenses that many people underestimate in retirement.